Aita I won't friend someone on SM that I am not friends with. Obligatory on mobile. This is really stupid, like 12Y, oh preteen drama. One of my friends told me to post this ridiculous situation on Am I the Asshole to show me how unreasonable I am being, which I find very, very funny in and of itself. I have a group of friends that I've had for about 12–15 years. About 10 years ago I worked a job at the place where several of my friends currently work. I use only Reddit and FB, no other SM. Several times over the last few years a former coworker of mine that currently works with my friends has tried to friend me on Facebook, usually when our friends in common tag me in something. We weren't friends when we worked together. I've never been someone whom talks badly about people behind their backs but puts on a friendly face when they're around. This former coworker was just that typical mean girl, and generally speaking exactly the type of person I try to avoid socially. I caught her stealing my and my coworkers' commissions at one point, reported her, and then when she wasn't fired she tried to confront me. I pretty much said something along the lines of, "This isn't my business, so if the owner wants to keep you around that's good for you," and refused to let her try to convince me that the commission thefts had been an accident, 30 commission accidents. Each one she accidentally put our sales in her name. I told her flat out, "Don't insult my intelligence here, we both know you're a thief," and she was pretty petty and horrible to work with after that. She was also just a hateful and mean woman in general, the type of woman that would try to ingratiate herself with others by talking down about anyone and everyone she knew whom wasn't there to hear it. Anyway, she keeps trying to friend me, and I guess she mentioned it to several of my friends because her feelings are hurt that I won't add her. I'm 36 years old. She's 34-ish? My friends say I'm an asshole for holding a grudge and that I should add her to keep the peace. This might make me a bit of an asshole because I was pretty blunt and may have come across a bit bitchy, but I'm usually a very plain-spoken person. I responded, "The only times I've thought of this person in the last 10 years are the times she randomly tries to friend me. I'm at peace. I have no need to add her, and I certainly don't care about her feelings." Because of this I'm told I am being an asshole. My male friend that works with her is particularly annoyed that I won't add this woman and says I'm being ridiculous. Am I the asshole here, or is this the dumbest Aita post you've ever read? Even in all this I haven't said an ugly word of her to our friends because I really don't harbor any ill will towards her. I literally DGAF about her or her feelings. Would a handful of you mind giving me a judgment on this so me and my buddy can put this to rest? I'd love for him to STFU about it lol. Edit. SP. Edit. Just to be clear, my friends and I are totally fine. They just really seem to think I'm being an asshole to their coworker and that it was horrible to say I didn't care about her or her feelings. My buds and I aren't letting this be a point of contention, we just disagree. Update. Thanks everyone. I sent this to the friend that told me to share here and he was honestly flabbergasted that others thought this situation was as stupid as I thought it. He still maintains that I could be the bigger person and just add her, but he concedes that I'm not an asshole for being uninterested in adding someone I wouldn't even wave a hello to in public. He also said he now realizes that my saying, "I don't care about her or her feelings," is not the same as having malicious hopes, satisfaction for the woman's feeling being hurt. For an intelligent guy, it's like he hit a brick wall of logic and just got stuck. Not the asshole. You and you alone are the only arbiter of who you want to be friends with, online or in person. Period. Your male friend wants you to friend this person only so that person will stop complaining to him about it. Male friend. STFU. Your former coworker only wants you to friend her so that she can snoop into your life and possibly make disparaging comments. Former coworker. GTH. Not the asshole tween drama indeed. Are they going to force you to give her an invite to your birthday party so she doesn't feel left out? Alright, in a day or two, show your nosy friends how unreasonable they're being. You are not the asshole. Screw keeping the peace, it's peaceful now without you adding a thief and otherwise unfriendly person just for the sake of it. You do not owe anyone friendship, and I wouldn't even call this a grudge. A guy that used to bully me in middle school tried to add me on Facebook like a week ago. I ignored it. And if my friends came at me the way yours came at you, my reaction would have been far worse than yours was. Please update us on when you show your friends this post. I'd love to see how they continue to call you unreasonable in the face of overwhelming support. Not the asshole. You don't owe anyone an explanation, it's your social media. Be friends with who you want and don't accept anyone you don't want. I'd block them at this point were I in the same situation. Not the asshole. Just block her. Not the asshole. You're protecting yourself from a person you have no interest in maintaining a relationship with and one whom you've had a material conflict previously. Sidebar: did she cash the checks in her name? Did she report the mistake herself? If you really believe she did what you allege, do not give her access to any personal details. Not the asshole. You can friend or not friend whomever you want. She is the one making drama here, not you. It seems that she is still unprofessional by bringing drama into work. She sounds manipulative by trying to force you to friend her through your friends. I would not want that person in my life, let alone my SM. Not the asshole. I only add people who I am actually friends with. You have no obligation to add someone to your friends group. None. Zero. Nada. Am I the asshole for playing with my friend's daughter? I feel really bad about this, so I wanted an outsider perspective. Edit. All names are fake. I, 29M, have been friends with Jack for 4 years. We work together, and recently Jack invited me over to work on a project. His wife Sarah and daughter were home. I've met his wife a few times, she's always been nice to me. Their daughter, Mary, is about 7, I think. I said hello to them both, before Jack called me into his office. After a while Sarah knocked and asked what cable they needed for their TV or something. After going back and forth with Jack trying to explain and Sarah getting confused, he finally said he'd just go with her to the electronic shop. He then said, "As long as you're all right to stay here with Mary?" I thought it was a bit odd that both of them were going, but I said sure. I carry on working. Half an hour maybe goes by and I head downstairs to make some coffee. Mary is playing in the kitchen, so I say something generic like, "How's your game going?" She starts chatting away at me, she's a very sweet kid, and eventually asks if I want to play. I glance at the clock and see it's been 40 minutes since Jack and Sarah left, and I feel guilty about just walking away, so I say sure, I have a few minutes. I text Jack asking if everything's okay. I play with Mary for maybe 10 minutes, making up silly voices for her toys which has her in stitches. Kids are easily amused, but it was really sweet, and it's actually quite fun. Well, finally the front door opens and Sarah and Jack are back. Sarah asks what we're up to, so we tell her, but she seems irritated. Jack tells Mary we have to go back to work, and we head into his office and continue until we're too beat to carry on. As we head back downstairs, Jack gets a call and goes into the living room to take it. Sarah comes up to me and asks to have a word. She pulled me to one side and asked me why I thought it was okay to play with her daughter. That it was incredibly inappropriate, and why didn't I stay in the study? I was taken aback and tried to apologize, telling her I'd just come down to make coffee and Mary had asked me to play and I felt bad saying no. Sarah then got really angry. She basically I'm a weirdo and a creep for wanting to play with her. I was shocked and hurt, but I felt awful and kept apologizing. Jack came back into the kitchen, and Sarah said, "I think A has to leave now." She seemed cold and serious and I was so uncomfortable that I just stammered a goodbye and left. I totally understand I might have crossed a boundary, and would never have interacted with a child by themselves in a different context. I have no anger towards Sarah at all, just guilt. One of my friends said Sarah is overreacting, but another says she would feel weird about it too. Anyway, I can't help but feel a little hurt that she would call me a weirdo for something innocent. But also know that's pretty self-centered since there are lots of fucked up creepy people out there and she's protecting her daughter. Am I the asshole for playing with Mary? No, you are not the asshole. They leave their daughter alone for nearly an hour with a stranger, but freak out about said person being nice to their kid? This kinda reeks like a setup. Can you babysit our 7-year-old daughter, but for the love of God don't interact with her? Not the asshole. What weirdos. Not the asshole. If you're such a threat, why did they leave the kid alone with you? Not the asshole. WTF? They asked you to stay alone with their child and to not even monitor her? Sarah is wrong. Full stop. I have children and would have been happy to see you playing with my child when I got back. If she trusted you enough to stay alone with her child while she ran errands, I don't understand why she is mad that you played with her. Not the asshole. She left her daughter alone with you for 40 minutes. You playing with her requires way less trust than that. She is 7 years old. Kids that age are still able to kill themselves by accident if left unsupervised. Leaving her alone that long is really questionable of the parents. By your description, I would say the wife has some serious emotional baggage. And it is probably better you stay away from his house permanently. WTF. That's some strange shit. Did they ask you if you were comfortable babysitting? Completely not the asshole. If they had boundaries, they need to be explicit about them. It seems incredibly weird for them to be comfortable leaving you alone with her but not comfortable having you interact with her. I'm baffled. Sarah is the asshole majorly. For one, I can't help but think that this wouldn't have gone as horribly as it did if Op was a female playing with the daughter rather than a male playing with the daughter. Furthermore, what did Sarah expect you to do? Op completely ignore the 7-year-old until she and Jack got back? If so, then she's more out of touch with reality than I previously thought, because I haven't met an adult left alone with a 7-year-old who managed to completely avoid any interaction with the kid whatsoever until that kid's parents came back. Lastly, if Sarah was so uncomfortable with you interacting with her child, then she never should have left you alone with her in the first place. Not the asshole, and if she didn't want you alone with her kid, she shouldn't have left you alone with her kid. WTH, they used you for free babysitting while they ran an errand, but didn't want you to interact with the kid? Am I the asshole? I told my girlfriend to get her own ride from the airport. I have been with my girlfriend for over 2 years. The first year was long distance, but I moved states to be with her. For the past year she has been studying for the MCAT to get into med school. She isn't working, she isn't in school, she just studies. The problem is she's been prioritizing going out with her friends and traveling with her friends over studying, and has bombed the MCAT twice. I've been there to support her, and I try to tell her she has what it takes if she applies herself. I'm definitely her support. I drop everything when family issues happen and try to just listen, and give advice when she asks. I've never really needed her in this way as my life is not chaotic and quite boring, I suppose, haha. This changed this past week. A friend of mine passed away. I was devastated and she saw that. The calling hours were Saturday. She already had plans to go to Disney with her friends, her third vacation since June. She went, which I was fine with. However, she ignored me both Saturday, Sunday and today. Never responded to my texts of support from the day before where she called me to vent. She called on Saturday twice while with her friends, but said she had to go within 5 minutes of calling and only called because I sent a text at 4 p.m. after not hearing from her asking to talk a little. She never once asked if I was holding up or if I needed to talk about my friend, which I did as I was hurting. She did however post on her IG story 10 times during the weekend while she wasn't talking to me. She wanted me to drive 2.5 hours to pick her up from the airport Wednesday and cut out of work early to do so. I had agreed. She was also going to move in this week completely. She currently switches between my place and her parents. I texted her today and told her to have her dad pick her up from the airport and to not move in. She called and it got a bit heated. I explained that I felt unsupported by her and that I really could have used a supportive text or call. She said that she didn't have cell phone service so she couldn't call or text. I explained that you need cell phone service to post stories on Instagram. She doesn't see an issue with her not being there to talk this weekend. So, I'm confused. Am I being the asshole? I feel hurt. The amount of responses and condolences are very moving. I've cried a ton this week. I can't remember the last time I cried before this. I can't thank everyone enough for the support and help. Reddit strangers, you were there for me more than she was not. It's a bittersweet pill to swallow. But thank you all. Edit. I wanted to add that both of her parents are really well off due to being specialized doctors. They pay for everything. She could have her own apartment paid by them. She lived in her own place until COVID hit. So although I do well financially, she's not using me for money. I'd like to think it's because I'm tall, handsome and charming. Tears of joy, but this weekend was a real eye-opener. Not the asshole. She is toxic. She expects support from you and expects you to drop everything to be at her side, but doesn't reciprocate when something so major as a friend passing away happens. That's BS. You made the right decision. Reevaluate your relationship. You can do better. Someone who actually cares about you and will be at your side during critical moments in life such as this. Hope you're doing okay and I'm sorry for your loss. A quick update. She literally texted this within minutes of this post. Hi, I'm just texting because I'm obviously still thinking about you, and I just love you an awful amount and I feel like a complete idiot for not checking in on you and acting like I was too busy to do so. I'm apologizing for the way I've been. You've been nothing but supportive and there for me. I need to step it up, I know, and I want to. I hope you are doing okay and work is going well. I'm still free to talk to you whenever if you would like to talk. I'm really sorry again for your loss, babe, and I really care a lot about you. I just feel like this text was sent because I was upset and nothing would have changed had I not told her to get her dad to pick her up and not to move in. Thoughts? Not the asshole. She's selfish and entitled and you deserve better. Also, I'm very sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. She sounds very self-absorbed. You made the right move by not having her move in with you. Not the asshole. And you also wouldn't be the asshole for breaking up with her. Def. Not the asshole. She is the epitome of selfishness. Easy solution. Move on, she's definitely not worth it. Not the asshole. You are obviously seeing her true colors now that you need something from her and not the other way around. Is he had apologized and realized she was being an aw, then maybe it wouldn't be as bad. You should definitely think about this relationship long term. It sounds very one-sided. Not the asshole. Run, op, run. Would I be the asshole for threatening to stop helping my boyfriend with his work? My 22 boyfriend, 26, recently got into real estate and I don't work right now, so I've been helping him. We've been working as a team for the last 1.5 months where I do everything and he just drives to the properties and shows them to the client. I find them, pre-screen them, set up appointments, cancel appointments, write up offers, send them, all paperwork, finding properties, all social media work. I manage all of this. All he does is act as the face and show properties. I figured we would get twice as much done if I help, but it seems he just leaves everything to me. I like doing this kind of stuff. That's why I offered to help. I'm better at it than he is and we had a successful first month. I don't keep any of the money. I don't need it, but I'll be working in a few weeks. The money is not the issue for me. The issue for me is he really needs this money but doesn't take it seriously. I feel he is taking advantage of my help and time. He is always doing something else. He doesn't put in even 10% of the effort I do and he knows this. I waste my time pre-screening clients and booking appointments just for him to tell me he's busy and can't do any showings. He has had 3 weddings to attend this month. He had a funeral for a friend who lost his dad today and he has a birthday to attend next week, during our busiest time, and an engagement party and his brother and sister's birthday coming up, and he just generally doesn't do anything. I have cancelled my own plans to write up last-minute offers while he was out with friends. I have missed reservations to help him when he couldn't. Every time I mention this to him he says, "What am I supposed to do?" And I get where he's coming from because he is a busy guy. He can't miss these weddings or the funeral or the birthday. They are important things to him and his family, friends. But it is really starting to rub me the wrong way having to pick up his slack. He had a funeral today that he said would run for 3-4 hours, so I booked appointments for viewings. Then he tells me he's going to be there for another 1-2 hours and I had to cancel everything. His clients get frustrated and I don't blame them. We end up losing their business and ultimately, we lose the sale. My time is also lost. Tomorrow he has to take his grandma to an important doctor's appointment and I have no idea when he will be done, so I can't book any viewings for tomorrow either. I can't complain too much because what am I supposed to say? Don't take your grandma? I'm in college full-time and I still manage to find time to do what needs to be done. Would I be the asshole for telling him I'm done helping him for a while even though I know he would struggle without me? I've been considering it for a while, but I wonder if I will look like an ass for bailing on him because he had funerals to attend and doctor appointments, things he can't miss. But I fear he won't learn to pick up the slack until he can't rely on me anymore. Not the asshole. Go get your real estate license and do all this work for yourself so you can keep the money. If he's not interested in his actual job, it's not your responsibility to do it for him. He's taking advantage of you. He'll learn pretty quick how much you're doing for him when he has to do it for himself. Not only are you not the asshole, but unless you want to do 90% of his job for the rest of your relationship, you need to stop helping him. Be prepared for incoming whining, blaming you for his drop in income, and attempts at manipulating you to start doing all the work again, though. Why are you helping him? If you like the work, do it for yourself. NTA. Not the asshole. Stop helping him and become a real estate agent yourself. Sounds like you're great at it while he's pretty much an asshole that needs to be dropped like a bad habit. Go and be successful without him dragging you down, or without you dragging him along with you. Stop doing his work for him. Not the asshole. Info. Are you getting paid for your efforts? Sounds like he's taking advantage and not being appreciative. Not the asshole. He is a grown man. If he can't handle all of the responsibilities of this job, maybe he should find something that he is better suited to do. Seriously, you need to stop helping him by doing almost everything. It sounds like you should get your license and get paid since you are already doing the bulk of the work. Not the asshole. He needs to struggle to see that you aren't going to be unpaid help. Do not help him.